this is Wayne Cameron again, adding another episode to my YouTube channel. We're going to call this one Proper Embouchure Development. Now, I've hesitated to make a video about this because it's really geared toward fairly advanced players. It's very difficult for young middle school players to comprehend what we're talking about. So if it's just over your head, I apologize. But I can tell you one thing. I've had many students from the conservatory especially tell me that this is the most important concept they'd ever learned in a trumpet lesson. Now, we've all heard that when you play the trumpet, your embouchure should not move around when you go from register to register, or something like that. It should look the same over the whole range of the horn. Well, I agree with that. However, the people who tell you that, at least the ones I've heard and seen, don't tell you how to do it. I'm going to tell you how to do it. Okay? Now, first of all, you have to realize that range development, which is also kind of hooked into this, range development is dependent upon the middle and lower registers. Now, most people don't really realize that. They think they focus only on the high notes. It's the middle register notes from G to G, second line G to top of the staff G. If that's out of whack, I call it playing lazy. If it's out of whack, you won't have much of a range. Now here are a couple scenarios that you might find are familiar. Let's say that you're playing an F scale on a B flat trumpet. And you go up the scale and you go past F, G, A. And when you get to A and you want to go to B flat, the B flat doesn't come out. And it feels like that it's more than a half step away. Some people say it feels like an octave off. So let's review that. You're playing an F scale, up scale, slurred, up past F to A, and you're going to go from A to B flat. And the B flat just doesn't come out. It won't speak. It's just air comes out your embouchure. Now, that's an effect of what I call playing lazy. However, you can play the B flat by itself. You can take the horn down preset and play that B flat perfectly. Or you can start lower, like start on a D or an E, and you can go up and play the B flat easy. Or you may have this sensation. When you're playing that scale, about 2/3 of the way up, you get this feeling that if you could stop for a second and reset, it'd be easier to go to that high note. Well, see, if you want to play at a really high level, you really can't have that. You've got to be able to go smoothly from anywhere low to anywhere in your range high, as long as you have enough breath. Well, this is how you do it. Now, how many of you have ever heard of free buzzing? Buzzing without your mouthpiece, like this. Free buzzing. Now, many students, even advanced students, can't do that. They have to have the mouthpiece up there in order to buzz. But you need to be able to practice free buzzing to where you can buzz at least one note. And I found with most of my students, the easiest note to free buzz is a low D, first and third on B flat trumpet. So try buzzing a low D. Okay? Feel what your corners feel like. The corners are the secret. Now, after you do that, play the low D, the best low D you can get, and compare the corners playing to buzzing. Now, most young players, the corners buzzing are much firmer than playing. So my question is if you have to buzz that firm to buzz that actual pitch, why don't you do it when you play with the trumpet? I've never had anybody answer me that. They just are confused. Now, buzz your lips again, memorize what the corners feel like, and you'll feel that they're probably a little bit firmer than you usually feel down there. Then play the D and see if you can replicate the firm corners that you had when you were free buzzing. If you try that, you'll be surprised what happens. Now, you can overdo it, obviously. You don't want to be tight. We're not talking about tight, we're talking about firm. Now, unfortunately, my beard hides my corners, so I'm sorry about that. So, if you can find that spot where the corners are as firm playing as they were buzzing, then gradually, slowly go up the scale to about an A and firmen the embouchure a little bit more on each note as you go up. Firming the embouchure a little more as you go up. And don't forget now, you got to increase your air support on each note. You got to increase your tongue arch on each note. So we're dealing with three things here. Air support, tongue arch, firming your corners on each note as you go up. Now, as I've said in some other videos, the more talent you have, the more apt you are not to do this because you get by with it. You have a natural embouchure, you can probably play all over the horn and not do this. However, it'll catch up with you at some point. It's like that example when you couldn't get the B flat out. That's a sign that you're what I call behind. Everything's behind. Your embouchure is too loose. Air support's not, the airspeed's not fast enough. The tongue arch is not high enough. All those three things have to be coordinated perfectly as you go up. It's not like the pistons in a car. It's not like this. They go up evenly up, and then when you come down, they go to the same places as you came down. Now, if you try that, what you're looking for is what I call a sweet spot. When you're playing on that low D and you're firming your corners up, if you firm your corners and experiment, you'll find a spot where the air just shoots through the trumpet. It feels effortless on your embouchure, and you get a slightly more robust tone. Now, you're looking for that sweet spot, and then when you go up the scale on each note, firm it up, all the other good things, you're looking for that sweet spot on every note. Okay? Now, the goal is that's the way you play all the time. Okay? Now, let's talk about how you don't move your embouchure from low to high. This is my hand as relaxed as I can get it. Okay? Now I'm going to make a fist. Okay. That's the fist that I can make with the most relaxed muscles and still maintain that shape. You understand what I just said? That's totally relaxed. This is creating tension to hold my hand in this position. This is your low register. Your low register is not, your embouchure is not loose and flaccid like a limp dish rag. It's firm. Now, as you go up in pitch and you firm your corners, I hope you can see it, but I'm going firmer and firmer on my hand. This is like the middle register. You can see the intensity change, but the shape doesn't change. As I go into the upper register, I'm getting this fist tighter and tighter, firmer and firmer. The shape does not change, the intensity changes. As I come down, it backtracks back down to the same. Does this make any sense? Firm in the low register, firmer as you go up. Firm as the higher you go. The shape never changes. Now what will happen is you watch yourself in the mirror, and when you get this thing down, you won't see a huge change in your embouchure. You'll just notice a slight intensity change in the muscles here and the corners. Now, again, it's easier to teach this when you're sitting beside me. If you want to follow up with me on this, contact me as soon as you can, and we'll do a Zoom meeting. Then we'll have to discuss having a flat chin. Then we'll have to discuss on how to make a cushion here in the middle of your embouchure so that you don't hurt your embouchure with too much mouthpiece pressure. This will be all included in this. But again, it's very difficult to talk about these things on the video. So again, contact me if you want more information or follow up. See you later.